mwanattu
olaba nange ngiwulira.
So now this had killed the market for of course. So now this had killed the market for of course.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, watching me here on Blackwood Fire Network. This is how we are going to appear today. Today is a Tuesday, and it is 16th of July. Yeah, we are still in the middle of the month, and let me hope everything is fine wherever you are. So, for those that are watching me from different, of course, platforms, that is Facebook, Blackwood Fire Radio Station, and Twitter, Blackwood Fire Network Store, TikTok, and of course YouTube, Blackwood Fire Network. Let me hope your day, let me hope everything you're doing is fine. Yeah. Today's topic is about Kenya. We are going to talk about Kenya today. It is this morning, this Tuesday morning, that we saw, of course, protesters in we saw protesters in Kenya. So these protesters are coming back for change. They no longer want Ruto. So uh, the issue of protests of course, in Kenya, they started with the financial bill. Now they are anti-government protests. Anti-government protests. So today morning there were anti-government protests. Anti-government. This is of course a phrase that means that um, that these protests, they don't support. They are not. They don't support the government. They are against the government. A lot of people are tear gas today. Very many people have been tear gas today, and even there are some people that are their lives today. So this is a serious issue. This is a serious issue. Hello, hello, Ompulira. So this has been
Um.
so
um. First of all, mouse yange yekola obusolosolo kasitamba simanyi kiguddewo naye it's okay. Um, gye ndi mukozesa tempa simanyi oba nnina ekintu ekyokubi but tempa ngenzeeyo ate si yongera nga baminimizinga window ndabe so genda oba waliyo ogundi endala gye nkozesa. Anyway, those who are just joining our live, thank you so much for, of course, joining us. And Africa Maria, I guess Innocent introduced me already. And of course, today's discussion is about Kenya protests today, and we have, of course, woken up only to get the news that Kenya is protesting again, despite having the other previous protest that was against the, of course, the bill. Um, Now they are protesting again. So, of course, now they are protesting again. And by the way, um, a lot of now Kenya, first of all, is taking the number one attention all over Africa, where apparently everyone is, of course, discussing about Kenya's, of course, strength and willingness. And I recorded today in the morning. I was going through, I was going through some different social media platforms, where, of course, I saw people, of course, trying to rate the countries that have got, of course, active and strong African youths, and Kenya was among this very country. Apparently, everywhere, more especially in Africa, they are talking about Kenya, and of course, Kenya's demand for change in different aspects. And this is something that has laid a brick, to different youths in Africa, and a lot of different leaders are a little bit frightened that everyone thinks probably tomorrow it will be there, since everyone has seen that from Kenya everything is possible now. Everyone feels like they can do this, and we expect to see uh, a lot, of course, coming up from different, from different Kenyans, especially the youths. Last time, of course, the protests that were in Kenya the last time, people were like saying this has everything to do with the Dinga and all that. And this time, and again, we saw him and Ruto having a joint relationship, joint discussion, and now we everyone is still puzzled about who engineer engineering this. Now that we saw the man we thought was right behind the protest, have shaking hands and of course letting us know that they have a strong bond of we love Kenya and we are going to work together with the opposition and even those who didn't go through to make sure that we bring we bring up the best of Kenya. We bring out the best of Kenya. And now that Ruto had this, sorry, Odinga had this, who is right behind this of course, protests or demonstrations that the youths are taking forward today that we thought recently probably there's going to be a break of such kind of situations, but now the fire is hot and burning right now in Kenya, and actually we don't know what the future holds, but we hope that this brings a good result. Um, in Kenya. So okay. Oh,
Oh, sorry, Jib Jabba. Jib Jabba says, "Hey, family, from YouTube. Let me hope you're doing good, Jib Jabba. Let me hope you're doing good. Let me hope your day is fine." And I think my sound is back. So, at the beginning of the protests in Kenya, a lot of people thought these youths actually they did these protests because of excitement, that they had no root, they had no aims of making these protests. But the different process, the different steps, the different, of course, protests that we had in the previous days in Kenya, they have shown that the people in Kenya that are doing protests, the people in Kenya that are doing protests right about now, they know what they are doing and they have aims that they are sitting on. They are standing on certain aims to do whatever that they are doing. So it started with the issue started with, of course, the cost of living, the hiking of taxes of some staffs. Now the issue is now at the level of root of go. There is a way actually I was on social media and very many Kenyans were like, "Rural go." They even they even called him in a simple way, rural. They said, "Rural go, rural go." But people wanted to go. They want him to go due to the fact that actually these people at the beginning of this Tuesday strike, actually very many people they were like, we don't want any uh, um, we don't want any of course we don't want the US ambassador in Kenya. That's how it started. So these people went to Ruto's home. They want him, they want to put him down. So that is, of course, what happens when people understand what they are worth, when people understand what they really want. And actually, the issues in Kenya should serve as an example to most of the leaders that we have here in Africa that have failed to deliver what people really need. Kenya is a big country with a lot of languages and a lot of tribes, but people's issues have not been addressed even up to this point. Yeah, at the time was I don't want to blame Ruto so much because Ruto he inherited a country that was suffering from the post COVID-19 situation, the country that was suffering from a lot of debts from the Chinese by his boss because he was a vice president when Uhuru was a president. However, Ruto made a lot of mistakes when he came to power. In the 1.5 years he has been in power, he has made a lot of mistakes. This is a guy that we have seen in luxurious things, though at the beginning, actually during the campaigns, when he was campaigning for presidency to the people of Kenya, Ruto was calling himself a hustler. So very many Kenyans thought that he's going to elevate those people that are in ghettos, the people that are in rural areas that don't have money, the people that don't have facilities to facilitate themselves. However, this has not come true for the time being. It has not come true. So people of Kenya are disappointed to the point that they want Ruto now to leave the country. I don't know whether these people have prepared the next president of Kenya. However, a lot of people would have been tear gassed. A lot of people have been beaten, arresting and detention of people. It's still going on in Kenya. Very many people, I think, say that Kenya observes human rights stuff. He observes which human rights. A lot of people have been killed. Actually, at the beginning of the strike, at the beginning of the protests, at the beginning of these protests have been seeing on social media, Kenyans are burying people every day. What does it mean? People are being killed, people are being detained. So you have no way to raise up your hand. You have no way to raise up your mouth to speak out what, of course, what you need. All what leaders do is to be in power. They live a luxurious life. Ruto showed this. Of course, Ruto has showed this that he's a luxurious person. However much, however much the pressure of the people of Kenya they have shown by, of course, by the pressure they have put on government, of which Ruto even reshuffled some government officials, it is not enough. For me, I normally say that we don't need you to reshuffle government officials. We want you to put policies that apply to the society that we are living in. That's what we need, we as African people. That's what we need. Because Ruto, I will not say that Ruto is young in politics. There is a saying that he had little experience with the politics. Ruto has been in politics for a long time and he has been in big positions. However, Kenyan people thought that this is a poor guy who is going to work upon the issues of the poor. This guy has been in politics, was the vice president. Being a vice president, you're next to the president. So it means if the president is not around, you're the president. So let's not say that Ruto is not experienced staff. Whatever he does it with intention. That's why the people of Kenya no longer want nonsense. Now they want him to go. Protests are still going on even up to now. Protests are still going on in Kenya. The police is still shooting at people. They are still beating up people. Uh, uh, I guess you can hear what's going on in Kenya right about. So you see, even this cameraman is far away from the shooting point because if he's going to, business, pray for our brothers and sisters. You know, when things go
I'm putting that.
what is going on current. What is going on? Very
Who did that?
Thank you.
Poi li sto commuting da come si dalle gonne. Naka audio ke njagala owulikisa wano katono. Anti mu mausi yange efrizinga. Bakwatagana ku TV. Kuleke. Nanke kule.
Wow. So that is, of course, what is going on in Kenya, and that's what Kenyans are going through right about now. Now they want to of course, to force the government of now want to be their president. So, Maria,
this time round, there are a lot of speculations that the Gen Z, or the Gen Zs, like they call them, the youths, are being used. All right. A lot of people are coming out, more especially some other young Kenyans. Wait a minute. I know why I'm having that. Okay. Okay. Oh, I get it. I guess now it's fine. So, sorry. A lot of people are coming out with speculations that there are different people. Before they used to say to us, of course,
Mhm.
it was of course Ruto's opponent who was
Really?
engineering this whole demonstration, and now a lot of people are coming out saying this is something that is being cooked by different politicians who are not satisfied. Jibjaba, Jibjaba, how are you? Jibjaba says, Maria, you in a special assignment. Uh, not like not like having a special assignment really, but I've been caught up in somewhere. So, but of course I needed to work. Yeah, but yeah, I should say special assignment. It is in there. I have to deliver some stuff somewhere. It's got a lot to do with my practicals. So I moved to somewhere up country. Yeah, I want to say. Oof. So a lot of people are arguing about the situation in Kenya, and most people are like, Kenya has been going through a lot than what they are going through. Thank you. A lot of people are saying Kenya has been going through a lot than what they are experiencing now to have that commotion in Nairobi. I remember, guys, we saw where Ruto, of course, had to come down on the streets and speak to the youth. They should stop destroying things and all that. And Ruto was against destroying things and complaining about the economy and the situations that, of course, are going on. The question he asked the youth was like, if you destroy and burn down the buildings that have been built, are you building the economy or destroying it? So he was calling them to, of course, be calm and handle these things amicably rather than burning down Nairobi. This today's demonstration has been a little bit bigger. We've seen different journalists being shot. Though I'm not going to say shot dead, but most of them have been injured in the process of reporting. And we've seen still a lot of people injured, and the chaos is extreme. We are seeing some houses being put ablaze, and of course, Jibgila says, "Be safe." Thank you. I will try. Yeah, thank you so much. And so the chaos is quite too much in Nairobi. Some time back we saw circulations of different videos where at times I don't know how to put this, but we saw circulations of some different videos where we saw young youths, young African youths, of course, coming forward to attack officers who were on guard with guns. I recall one video I saw where a lady was talking directly to the officers, like, shoot me, shoot me if you think, um, you know, like you own this country. I want you to shoot me. And they were all standing quiet, and no one, they were not responding to her. And to the point she went and started pulling the bulletproof this officer was wearing. And she was speaking in Swahili. some provoking words. But again, when she was turning to English, she changed that. If you didn't know Swahili, you wouldn't know what exactly she was communicating to those people. Um, to food them, to food.
So, so sorry for that, Maria. But like she was saying, a lot of speculations are coming out. This morning, I was reading a certain article. They said that the Ford Foundation is also. It's also they said that the Ford Foundation is also behind this in Kenya, of course, which I think it's not true because the Kenyans, they know what they want, they know what they are going through, and I don't think they need anyone behind. I don't think they need someone to gear whatever they are doing because they are directly affected. They know what they are going through. I don't think they need someone to direct them to do what they are doing because all whatever they are doing, it is because of what they are going through. There is a saying in my language that if you squeeze the nose too much, it bleeds. It brings out blood. So Kenyan people have been patient for a couple of years, for decades, and and actually they no longer want nonsense. They are going through a lot. All right, say to this is organic. Yeah. So they have gone through a lot of things and they are no longer interested in comedy. So if they see any comedian around in politics, around in Kenyan issues, they are ready to die. They are ready to influence everything to move as they wish them to move. Because let's go back to, of course, to Kenyans. It is this year that that Kenya had floods. Apart from what we saw on the news, how the helicopters actually few helicopters trying to help out some people that were drowning in water, we have never seen anyone coming out to compensate these people or to help out to these people that were affected by the floods. Maria, are you back?
I'm back nenga setup.
Olimu odi.
Wa odiengano okuyimirira.
Oba tolina kugijja oba tosobola kujja wali.
Ndowooza ogireyinze out bulala.
Ah.
Bwera
Continue.
Ulira kiri ebweru.
Yogera tugende maaso.
Yeah, I do agree. Now about given the circumstances, and of course there are the situations that have always, of course, followed such kind of actions in Africa. Uh, there is no there is no way how a lot of people will be coming out, more especially Africans, without being organized. You understand? We are not seeing this on social media that let's go and march. We did not see a post where people were organizing. This time we are going to move to the parliament to show. It was just from the blue that we saw people on the streets when they were showing their unsatisfactory ness about the situation and the bill. And it's like we have got a group of people, really. I don't want to say that we don't appreciate what they are doing, but we've got an organized group of people that is organizing these people silently, like people are saying, because it is not an easy thing for us to see A lot of people, more especially the ones who don't even work in the capital, waking up one time in Nairobi and we are seeing a marching crowd of people, unless it is an organized crowd with people who have the same interest at heart. Though we have not seen, a lot of people are denying the speculations of being behind such kind of actions. Um, First of all, we should know that a lot of people are situated in different areas. Let me assume in Kenya. Kenya has got different districts, it has got different zones, it has got different cities and towns. But for these people to have gathered in one place, to of course do this wholeheartedly with no fear whatsoever, definitely they have been organized. All right, and they are organized because if when you see what they are doing, they are extremely determined, and the goal they are looking at is the same. Kenya has, of course, been going through phases of different things. Kenya has experienced a phase of bad leadership. Of course, phases of corruption, which is still experiencing now. Kenya has experienced a lot. Hunger, floods, high taxes, and the poor economy, more especially when it comes to the local people. But we have not had an organized group of people. Now, we should know that the coming of Ruto into power was not accepted by a lot of big people in Kenya. All right. And like I tell you something, more especially when it comes to the government of Africa, we have got a lot of the big people that actually seem not to be in the government or who drive Africa's leadership. And a lot of people don't really know. We have got big people driving Africa's leadership, and these people are always behind. They will never show their political faces. They hardly show their political faces. But once they come to a situation where they know they are not benefiting, or they are not benefiting from this leadership or governance, they usually show their unsatisfactoriness. Now, um, a lot of people were speculating about Ruto, like I said, but now it has been, and I think this is why Ruto came out. Oh, sorry, they are speculating that it was his opponent,
Odinga.
Odinga, who was, of course, uniting these people to have these demonstrations. And I think this is why Odinga went ahead and then he was showing that he has created a strong relationship with the Ruto. So that not coming out to deny these actions, but of course, this action of claiming that he has a strong relationship with Ruto now and the government of Ruto clearly tells the people that he's not involved in these riots or these protests. The biggest question should be like, who is involved and why isn't the Kenyan military or the Kenyan government responding? Why didn't it respond in the previous protest, and now it is trying to respond? Because of course we have seen where the military went to the churches where youths were having services, and they arrested the entire place and the entire youths, probably with the claim or speculations that these people maybe were trying to, of course, organize themselves for a demonstration or a protest. And General Mosquito says that, Maria, you're back. We missed you yesterday. Really? Yeah, Innocent told me. I was supposed to be live yesterday. Unfortunately, like you see, guys, I traveled some up country. I'm on a special assignment, but when when I came on a live, I felt Innocent was very excited, just like I was. I think I've not seen him for some time. Like I don't know, some of us. Maybe
General
throwing.
Mosquito says, how are you doing? Innocent, nice t-shirt. Once again, you're balling, brother. Thank you. General. Yesterday, thank you, General. Thank you so much.
Mhm. So, so we had all that actually in Kenya. Now, a lot. Why didn't we see the military? A lot of people may be thinking the military of Kenya is weak, just like the Kenyans may be thinking the police is so scared of us. But we know police has been oppressing these people for quite some time, and there is no reason why it should be scared of the people unless there is order from above that is preventing them from taking action. The first time when we had those people come on the streets, of course, to demonstrate, we did not see a lot of, response from the military people, though we saw some other people hurt by the tear gas and bullets that ran astray. But most of them were not strongly responding or man-handed handling the majority of the crowd. And like now, as now that we are seeing these people trying to retaliate, of course, like when they entered that church, and of course, arrested some people who were in that place, and of course, the way they are trying to handle the riot this time round is quite different from the previous. Now it's like they have received the command, all right, from above, the one they didn't have the other first time. Um, and when these people went to, of course, protest against that bill, I think Ruto, I know Ruto is not a kind person, all right? I know Ruto is not a kind person. So I cannot say that he was so kind to not want to hurt Kenyans and all that. I know Ruto is not a kind person. Definitely, he did this for whatever, for his own, reasons. And that's why we saw most of the military people standing down, and all they were doing was to defend, all right, to defend, and rather than, of course, doing what they usually do. Okay. Now, when Ruto, of course, Ruto came out after that, and we know, like we celebrated last time, yeah, he stepped down and listened to the voice of the majorities and the needs of the Kenyans. So, but people didn't go ahead, of course, praising Ruto. I guess like he expected, maybe he thought if he gave in, probably he will have calm the people down. But again, that very day, the next day, we saw people again having different writings like Ruto should go, Ruto should step down. So I guess the guy was like, "What? I thought we were closing that chapter." Um, of course, for something else, and now you want me to go. I'm expecting a little bit hard situation in Nairobi between the citizens, or the youth, or the Gen Zs, like they call them, and the, of course, government of Kenya at this time. And from what we are seeing, it is a little bit more chaotic than it was before. I can see Robert Williams. Thank you so much for joining our live. And Joby, he's right here. Joby says hi, guys. Hi, Joby. Hope you're doing good. How is Kenya? And what's the situation there right now?
So when we look at, of course, actually, hello, Joby. Let me hope you're doing good. Joby, Nelson, let me hope you're doing good. Actually, you could draw for us a picture that is going on in Kenya right about now. Because ever since morning, people have been, of course, coming out in Kenya to of course, show dissatisfaction of Ruto's government. When we look, actually, the trick, Maria, the trick Ruto used when he was coming to power, when we look at different presidents that have been in Kenya, starting with the first president who was, of course, Jomo Kenyatta from 1964 to 78. We went to, of course, Daniel Arap Moi between 1978 and 2002, and Mwai Kibaki came in 2002, 2013. This is where Uhuru Kenyatta, he became a president from 2013 to 2022, and we see Ruto. So all these people from Uhuru Kenyatta was a son of Jomo Kenyatta. Daniel Arap Moi and Mwai Kibaki, all those people, these were people that were well off. So now what Ruto lied about Kenyans, that when you look at all those people, that the three presidents we have ever had since independence here, all those people were well off. Were well off. They had money. They were rich. So we, the poor, we have to get power too. This is what he lied about the Kenyans. Actually, that's why very many Kenyans voted for this guy, though they said that there was some rigging of elections, because this guy was a vice president for Kenyatta. They said there were complications within the elections, but a lot happened. Of course, when this guy was asking for presidency, he asked, actually, there are a lot of things he promised the Kenyans, of which most of them, they have not been fulfilled. Kenyans are not stupid. They thought this guy is kind, this guy is going to respond to whatever that he promised the Kenyan people. But he failed to deliver. In the few years, actually in the 1.5 years he has been in power, he has failed to deliver, apart from living a luxurious life, making outside travels, visiting US and other countries outside, signing treaties. And actually, the most annoying thing is the taking of the Kenyan army to Haiti. This guy was promised by the UN. I don't know how much money he was given, but he took soldiers, he took the police to Haiti to fight on behalf of the UN. Should we think that the UN doesn't have enough police and enough army to keep peace? That is the other thing. The other organization is an international organization. Kenya is a country. So should we think the United Nations, Kenya is stronger? I mean, should we think that Kenyan police is stronger and well equipped than the UN police? Should we think that? So a lot of confusions, a lot of things this guy has been doing, and the people of Kenyans were sitting back. So the entire protests in Kenya, these protests have been jeered by the so-called the Generation Z. So the Generation Z, these are the people. All these are, of course, people that were born between 1990 and in early 2010. This is the generation that is behind the protests that are going out in Kenya. The other time I said that this generation, the Generation Z that we are having, we also have Generation Z here in Uganda. This is a generation that is awakened. This is a generation that sees far. This is a generation that is known to be fooled. This is a generation, if you don't fulfill what you promised, they come for you. The other time I said, if at all the president makes like 2 months without making public appearances, they will announce him dead. This is the generation that we are living in. This is a generation that doesn't care whether what or what, they just attack. So today's protest, of course, they are anti-government protests in Kenya, and due to the fact that a lot of people have been arrested, a lot of people have been Joby from YouTube says that, but Ugandans are scared. Maria, Ugandans are scared. Yemi says that Ugandans are scared. What
Ompitira.
is
Oyagala
Ugandans? I don't know what to talk about Uganda. But of course,
a lot
Kenyans
of
are
people are scared. Not like last time I was explaining like why we may not experience such a thing in Uganda. Unfortunately, Joby wasn't here. Um, it is not that Ugandans are scared.
Museveni
Seven
said,
said
"Don't you dare!"
it is not that let me tell you let me explain something about this whole thing. You said Seven runs his things is a little bit different. If you look
Rebel
at
way.
most of the population of the military people in Uganda are the young people. Actually, 18 years. He recruits 18 years to 20 something. And the majorities of these people are the youths who would be on the streets demonstrating. Um, we
And
are not
they are in,
beach
and they
ass
are in top
niggers
positions. You find someone with
because
18.
Kenya is just doing this recently. You have also been under shit, right? But when when the right time comes, when the people know the right people to entrust, all right, we see people. I always tell this like when a lot of people were ready to die for Ruto, a lot of Kenyans were ready to die for Ruto in order for him to come in power. That even
Mm,
others, even um
mm.
abuyinza kakanya kuba kati zivaako mu nyamba.
Hmm? Muleke. Yogera.
Kale kambireka yogera.
So when actually, like you talked about actually yes, Museveni said that don't you dare, like you said that Yumi says "Man, mosquito, calm down, calm down." So
So
uh,
kakane, Joby herself is even afraid of this situation. And she's proud of other Kenyans. Maybe in this situation, I'm not someone who is afraid if I want something. That is, and
so, so So, Maria, you talked about the issue of you talked about the issue of actually most of the youths to be in the Ugandan army, and this I know. Joby says that I know Ugandans are brave. My brother is half Ugandan. Wow, that's great. Joby, how old is your brother? How old is your brother?
oyagala kuwulira birungi.
So, when you talked about that, actually, when you look at Uganda, the Ugandan military, it is of course made of the youths, and these are the youths that are of course that are having high ranks in the army. So it is very difficult. Actually, the youths that would have organized, of course, protests. These are people that are in the army. So these other people that we see that normally make, of course, protests around. He says that he's turning 16, very smart guy growing. Wow.
No, you see, let me first explain something and why we have not muting nawe. Stop.
Kenyize wenyize, kenyize
I'm
wenyize,
just trying to already you have done it.
kenyize wenyize.
Okay.
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay, I get it.
It is at least every household, let me say that like 98% of families or households in Uganda, at least one of their child is in the forces, more especially the young people. Now I'm trying to give people a picture. Hmm? Well, the way this man controls Uganda is a little bit different. And actually, sometimes I try to, there is a way he plays with the mind of the people, that is one. And there is a way he puts people in a position that it is very hard for you to wake up and want to sacrifice something. All right.
Mm.
I told you how he deals with the people up country. A lot of people have been in the city demonstrating all that kind of stuff. But every time, each day, we receive new people coming in the cities, leaving the villages, right? You will find that 95% of the population in Africa, or 95% of every household in Uganda, at least one of their child is either in the military or the police. All right. If it is not your nephew, it is your niece. If it is not, it is your cousin. In one way or the other, you are affected, even if it is a distant relatives or somehow. But you get to know that at least that counts for a big population of people having their children in the military. Now, these are people, though we are having a few people, of course, we see coming out to disrespect and all that, but we know that there has been a lot of one-on-one or heart-to-heart connection with the civilians and the military officers, because they have got a relationship beyond the government. Now, this is what that man does. First of all, when the first time he was recruiting most of the military people, he was targeting a certain level of education, which gave potential to almost everyone to attend. At least you would finish, like we would say, Form 4, that is ordinary level of education for you to join and be a private, which gave room to everyone, because imagine people from the villages and everywhere, and you have access to join the military. Now you're going to be on the government payroll, you're going to be sleeping in a free house, having free water, and all that comes along with working for the government. Now you can realize. And when it comes to Kenya, there is a specific tribe that runs the military. In Uganda, you'll find people from the north and elsewhere, though we are not going to say that we have everyone in big ranks. Now, that's where the difference comes. But in Kenya, we'll find there is a big specific tribe that runs the military. Okay? And in this kind of government, it is very easy for people who do not have a lot of people in this to uprise. You understand what I mean? Now that is and actually, if at all, if Kenyatta had been in power, we would not see this demonstration. Kenyatta wasn't even the best leader, but because there is a certain tribe that runs the entire Nairobi, it is easy for these people to demonstrate. Yani, there is a certain tribe that is pioneering, or there is a certain tribe that leads the biggest population in Nairobi. Now, which is very hard. For you to have such a reaction in Uganda, you are going to be apparently visiting almost everywhere for everyone to support your deed. But you have got people who are strong-hearted, but you need to convince them. There is a way this country was designed, that there is a way people have that self, and I don't care a lot of stuff and what is going on over there. If it, like I said, if Ruto was a tribe, I don't want to mention because I don't want to sound so tribalistic, but I hope Joby understands what I'm trying to pin out. If you reach Kenya, there is a certain tribe of Kenyans that, of course, leads the population in Kenya. The people who are owning businesses. Kenya is divided. We have got people owning hotels. We have got those who are doing border. We have got a certain tribe dealing in bars. So there is a way those people are divided. All right. Now, it is easy for someone to come out to Ruto, more especially in Nairobi, because it is not his tribe that is running Nairobi. It is not his tribe that has that big, population. So, and this is what Uganda does not have. I think that is the issue, because let's first look at the issue of Bobi Wine. The capital city of Kampala, which is supposed to be the central, where Bobi Wine believes to have, of course, yeah, I know it is a tribeless demonstration. I know it is a tribeless demonstration, but I know it's a tribeless demonstration, but if you still go and check very well, you will understand there is a population. Yani hatutasema ati tuko watu wenye wameboard. We don't have people who have board their buses from other places that they are coming to demonstrate. All right. But we have people who are doing this within either youths who are attending universities and schools in Kenya. These are people who are doing their businesses around here. And like I told you, there is a specific population. There is a specific tribe that overdrives the Nairobi population. Okay? But I know it's a tribeless demonstration. It is not based on tribal things, but I'm trying to give you a picture. Yani, the biggest population that is standing does not care whether Ruto falls, okay? Because for whether we like it or not, Africa is being driven by tribalism. Now it is Ruto, and the tribes that are head, the tribe that is overtaking Kenya's population is not Ruto's tribe. All right, even if others are coming because they are being hard and stuff like that, I'm trying to give you the picture why we are seeing such kind of a thing. Otherwise, we would see this in other places. We would see this in in different, Mombasa. We would see this elsewhere. Okay. And we would also see this where Ruto comes from a lot, though we are seeing a few people supporting this, and the basic hit is in Nairobi. All right. Now, this is the problem that a lot of people, it is like when you go to of course, when you go to, let me say, Nigeria, and people are saying in Lagos, people are going to, of course, demonstrate in Lagos. The reason why we also don't see such kind of things is because most of the people there, we have got the Hausas and the Yorubas, though the Igbo people take their business, but that is not their home. Yeah. And you'll see them trying to demonstrate, showing, like they're not satisfied about the leadership. Elsewhere in the Igbo land, we got the Biafra and all that, and they're in their zones. So this is the problem that a lot of Africans have. And connecting back to Uganda, this is the problem that actually Uganda has as a country. It is not that like Ugandans are coward, but there is a lot, first of all, people have to understand. Like last time, I think it was K. Williams who said that you cannot expect freedom without bloodshed. You have to sacrifice. This is what K. Williams said. But the question is, who is ready? Who is ready to say, I'm going to die right now for the people? I think that's also important. And who is ready to say, my child, my son or my brother's son or daughter is in the military. As soon as we start this, they're going to be out there and probably lose their lives and stuff like that. Who is ready to do that in most of the countries? Now, like I told you, first of all, this man, when he knew what to do when it comes to the Ugandans, and at times when it is to do with emotions, probably people will, lack what to say or to do about the situations that they are experiencing in fear of hurting their loved ones. Like I said, each household, if it is not your brother, you have a cousin in the military. If it's not your cousin, it is your father then, or it is your mother. But each family has at least someone in the military, right? And when it comes, and then when we have seen a lot, a lot of Ugandans, I think most people have been following, we have seen a lot of, there is what people call a freedom of speech. People wake up and say a lot of things that I have not seen a lot of Kenyans do to their leaders. And whether you would now, though people are saying Kenyan military police or whatever is weak and stuff, I've not seen Kenyan being as disrespectful as Uganda. We've seen situations where even Ugandan civilians are slapping officials. Someone comes in and is slapping a police officer, and someone is fighting a police officer. But now those are the few. All right. Though I wouldn't support some of the behaviors a lot of people be doing, because if it is to fight for the cause, it needs to be a cause that is disciplined. All right. We had last time Bobby Wine demonstrate. Demonstrate. Actually, they let Bobby Wine do a lot of things. They let Bobby Wine do a lot of things. People who don't know what Bobby Wine was doing, people who were on the mainstream don't know. I said I personally witnessed that guy trying to pour dust on his head, and he was posing for the cameras and all that, and he was doing a lot of things. Because there is a time when the government was like, you all should let Bobby Wine do whatever it is that he wants to do. And now by the that's why you don't hear a lot of people talk about him, because and at times he inflicts things on himself, because I think this is what politics is all about. I think Africans need to understand. I don't know how organized the Gen Zs are as of now, really. I don't know how organized they are, because it takes a lot for a group of people to be organized to fight against people who have weapons. Okay, despite of course, despite of us knowing that if we want peace or freedom, it is okay for you to sacrifice, but we don't know how organized these people are. All right, and maybe even we are not sure how far this is going to go. If at all the government of Kenya tries to retaliate, we don't know if they have, because now this is going to be like a war. Okay, because what if we see that people are trying to shoot, then what is going to happen? Are the young Gen Z is going to run away from the crowd? Are they going to stop demonstrating? If at all the Kenyan police starts to shoot maybe rubber bullets or live bullets or whatever it is, are they very prepared for this unpredictable moment? Now that's also another question, because it is so very useless of actually us going out there and not achieving, but again losing lives of a lot of young people. And I think this is why I say, if at all we are to have young people involved in such kind of acts, they need a strong backup. And I wish this is true, like I'm hearing people claim there is the involvement of other government officials. I hope, and I also hope it is for the better. Because like we saw Ruto come in, a lot of people were ready to lose their lives for Ruto, and now they are ready to lose their lives to see Ruto go. I don't want to see such a confused Africa. All right, like we always say, we need to see change, but if we do not change the system, then we may never see change, because it is a different thing to see Jibijaba doing the same thing K. Williams is going to be doing. And then we want General Mosquito to come in and he's still going to do the same thing K. Williams was doing. And then Joby comes in and he's still doing. Then we are wasting a lot of time and people are dying for nothing. We have to be so sure of what we want. Now, if we say right now we don't want Ruto, Ruto should go, then who is coming? Is it Ruto should go, or should some laws be removed, or should our constitutions be revised, or should we have changes? So if Ruto goes, then who should come? And when that person comes, this is the question for, of course, Joby. If Ruto should go, which I agree, then who should come? Do you have anybody you feel like is going to be better than Ruto? Or are we going to bring another person just to have other people on the streets demonstrating? What do we really want? The faces, the system, the constitution changed? What do we want? Because it is one thing for you to go on the streets and fight to die for a wrong cause. It is another thing. Actually, people, because if someone asks, okay, Ruto should go, I know he should, I don't even care. But he should go if people are not satisfied. But if he does, then who should come in power? I think this is where we get everything wrong. We need a lot of things revised within the Africa's government and constitution. And until we do that, we are not going to have a leader who's going to work for us. We are still going to continue having the same disappointments, going on the streets disappointed, demonstrating because of disappointment, and of course these people not fulfilling their promises because there are situations they are going to come and find in power. Because you cannot wake up and change a nation just within a shortest time. There have been a lot of things that have been signed. And by the way, I know whatever condition that Kenya is experiencing now, Ruto was part of it because he was a vice president. So he was part of this whole bullshit. But we are looking at circumstances like, what should we demonstrate for, basically? What should we? Let's first organize the system. Let's first organize the system because we might also end up being disappointed if at all we vote in or we allow other people to come into power in this broken system. It is very hard. Remember, most of the leaders don't just make decisions. Decisions go through. It is not like Amin. Amin is the one who was just deciding. He wakes up and says, bam, I said this, and no one is going to question that. I said this because I find it fit for my country, and nobody has to debate about it. But now everything people have to decide. The oppositions are there, others who want the leader to fail so that people cannot vote that person the next time, and others who are selfish also. So there is a lot of chaos within the African parliaments and the decision makers. But I think this is something that we should be marching for. We need change in the entire structure. We don't need people to debate about that change. And then from there, probably, maybe we can be so sure that if at all we vote a kind person, a person who is willing to love, or a person who loves Africa and is ready to sacrifice everything for the betterment of their people, then we can be sure that, yes. But with these all constitutions that we are still living in now, the same constitutions that were drafted by the colonialists, they just improve a little bit of these things, and they will tell you the clauses, clause 1, 2, chapter, whatever bullshit they have in there that even does not suit the people. Then we are in for a big surprise. then we are in for a big surprise. So I think the biggest issue is like, why are we on the streets demonstrating, protesting? Because these are people we entrusted with the power. These are Ruto. Ruto was, a lot of youth supported Ruto. A lot of them did. Now, how sure are we, whoever we want to come, is not going to be a second Ruto? So it is not the face of the individual, but the structure that runs the entire system needs to be, of course, demolished and rebuilt according to the demands, the needs, the standards of Africans and the countries in Africa. Oops. Cool.
You guys have no saying. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, I do. INNOSSETU.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was saying you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I was just listening. I'm half asleep. So I was listening to Maria talk about uh Ruto. Ruto was selected. He was not elected. He did not elect. He did not win any elections. Most Africans never win. Just like Paul Kagame is 99%. They're put in by white people to run their businesses in Africa. Keep Africans poor, dumb, and scared while we steal their resources. These are African, what you call leaders. There are no leaders in Africa, except if you're talking about who Magafuli was or now what Ibram Torre is. There are no, you have no African leaders. All so what happened is this is a change of the whole system. What happened in Kenya is not just protests. This is the change of the whole system because the youth understand who's in control of the system. They know it's the white man. They know the IMF, the World Bank, and the people behind these organizations are the ones implementing these. See, look, shout out to Sister Eric Ambassador Eric talking about the African has been so stupid, so dumb, so scared for so long, it can only continue for so long. And she said, sister, you guys have been, I love her passion. Africans, we're not going to be dumb and stupid. We've been dumb and stupid for so long. And that's just true. African has been a moron for 500 years. You can't live on the richest continent on the planet and be poor, but you are. That's a paradigm. How can you be on the richest planet on the planet and be impoverished? How's that possible? So, um, um, so that's what you're dealing with. You can't, it's the first breakdown of the system in any African country. That's why Kenyans must be celebrated all throughout Africa. Most Africans are still cowards, they're scared. You lose your fear. They're not using no damn rubber bullets on them. They're using real bullets, live bullets they shooting them with. But the Kenyans are saying, fuck, I told you the price of freedom is death. What's going on, Jibber? Yeah, price of freedom, these puppets are wicked. You can't say nothing against Kagame and Rwanda. Hell, he's worse than people think. Museveni's worse than Kagame. No, Kagame's actually worse than Museveni. 20 times worse. Because you guys with the propaganda, Kagame is wicked, wickedly evil. All these leaders are wickedly evil, all of them. But That's why they go to goofy summits. They don't call each other out because they're all puppets and dictators. You ever go to these goofy African summits to Japan and South Korea, to Russia and the America and the Europe? They don't call each other out because they know they're all thieves. They're thieves. They're corrupt. They're fucked up. They'll never call. If you have an honest leader like even Torres call them parlor slaves. These are all parlor slaves who work the bidding of their masters. That's right. That's how you know you got integrity. None of these fake ass leaders call each other out because they all fucking fucked up. They're all backward. They're all fucking stupid. They're all corrupt. They're all put in power to make sure that people stay impoverished. All you're gonna do is ask the question: how can you live on the richest continent and be the poorest people? Okay, that paradigm don't make sense. So it's something causing this. What is it? Ain't your dumbass leaders? They don't got no real power. They're all puppets. They don't got no real power to do shit. They can't even help other Africans out. The Africans up there in Libya going to slavery or get fucked up in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. African leaders don't say a goddamn thing because they're all bums. They're all weak. They're puppets. Put there to stay in power for 20, 30 years to do the white man's bidding. That's why Africa is so miserable, kept in misery and poverty. You think that is? Can't be an accident. Can't be an accident. You live on the richest continent on the planet and Africans are poor. How can that be? How can that be? And Europe is rich beyond belief but don't have no resources. How can that be? How can Europe be rich and Africans be poor when all the resources come out of Africa? How can that be? These are simple questions that's got to be asked. That's what the Kenyans are asking. That's what Ibram Torre is asking. How can we be poor on the richest continent? Ask this people that question. This question I want to know. You puppet ass, ask these other puppets. How the fuck can we be poor? We still the richest continent on the planet. How's that possible? How's our shit look all shanty town? You look at Europe and Asia is all developed and ours is not. But the wealth of the world is here. How's that possible? I guess that lady right there is carrying her groceries home. Don't mess with me. I got my bag of groceries. She's walking across the street with her bag of groceries. Oh shit! These hotels, boy. Constantly in these damn hotels. That's why I get. Joby must be gone. Yeah, it's tribeless. The youth understand. Damn a tribe. A tribe has kept you back. That tribal shit. You don't want to practice it. Why do you think you only want to still practice it in Africa? Because you're stupid. You're still moronic. You still believe in this tribe shit that causes you to have no power. Why the European came in and put it there. It said the former Ukraine president being a billionaire of African chocolate. I don't know. Yeah, the Africans don't even control the chocolate. Yeah, but they don't even control that. So they don't even control that. Chocolate in Africa made the Swiss own most of the chocolate, make all the money, billions of dollars every year. Africans work starving and slave in West Africa, cutting up cocoa for nothing, and it's $1 billion business. These puppet ass leaders have done nothing. All the money goes to the white man. Why can't you make chocolate in Africa? You got that material. It's your shit. The puppet says no. All the damn shit comes out of Africa. It's not made by Africans. It's fucking made by white people, make billions of dollars on it. And they put their goons. That's why they got the military. I told you, all military and police in Africa are there for white people's benefit, not for Africans. That's why most of the polices in Uganda, Kenya are funded by white power, not by these corrupt ass governments. That's to keep these niggas in line so they don't cause confusion and stop the stealing. All the police forces are the same shit. They're brutal, they're corrupt. From Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, it's the same shit. Because a white man created the police force. Remember, you didn't have any police in Africa, it didn't exist. He created that on his way out. So keep these niggas in line when I put a puppet in there. Keep my money coming to me. When they act out, you blow their fucking heads off. And you scare their ass back into submission. You scare them back into submission. And so Kenyans are like, fuck it. We're not going to be scared. We die, we die. So what? That's how you know they found all them dead bodies by the police. They try. Their corruption is so outrageous in Africa. You had a bunch of bodies that they killed, that the police killed indiscriminately. Innocent people that buried their ass by the police station in Kenya. What by one of these police stations? They're saying it was a serial killer. We found a serial killer who buried innocent people right by the police station. Like what? 45, and then that place where it buried, or the bodies buried, now it's burnt up because they don't want nobody to find the evidence. So they come some burning the bodies because they don't want people to find the other evidence of the extra judicial killings that's been going on by this fucking corrupt ass police. Because these are crimes against humanity, of course, done by the political class to shut people up. Like find people dead in Uganda, people dead in fucking Rwanda, people dead in Kenya, Ghana, not just the same shit. They only persecute that leader when he falls out of complete power, and they can't, unless he goes against them, or like Ruto can't be saved, he's gone. So the rest is gonna try to pull him out, and then I love what they do with these puppets. Since he's committed so much crime, they'll have his ass at the Hague, and they'll lock his ass up for the rest of life, so he keep his mouth shut. So he won't have the idea. Say, you know what? I was a puppet. This is how they did it. They had me selling out my people, and I just nah, nigga, you going to prison. You know. Then they'll come investigate. They try to say these bodies were from a serial killer who was dumb enough to pick up the bodies and take them to the police station area and bury them there. Like what? The shit. The lies are so outrageous, so ridiculous. That's how Africa's been run for 500 years. The lies, the psychopaths that have been put in power. Museveni's a fucking psychopath. Kagame's a psychopath. Tinubu in Nigeria is a psychopath. Kofi Annan out in Ghana, these psychopaths. Managua down in Zimbabwe is a psychopath. This fucking broad they installed in fucking Tanzania is a psychopath. They know how to do it. Shout out to Ibrahim Toure. He told you. They know how to, the master knows how to identify the people he needs to do his business. Exactly, the psychopaths. The psychopaths. They ain't going to put nobody in power that has a conscience that's not going to benefit them. They got to be almost just as psychopathic as their master. I think all these leaders, why these leaders are so bad in Africa? Because that's on purpose. The leader of Equatorial Guinea has been in 50 years. He's a psychopath. Why the leaders are so bad in Africa? Everybody always ask that dumbass question. Why the leaders are so? Because they're not leaders, moron. The puppets put in there. They're not leaders. Never been any leader. You got a leader now. Every leader gets murdered. Like a Magafuli. Ibrahim Toure had 10 attempts on his life. Those are leaders. You tell your people the truth, that all these African leaders are puppets, slaves of their masters. That's how you know you're real. None of these other puppets say a damn thing about these corrupt bastards. Oh, we go to summit after summit. Everybody's all fucking stupid. You see when you look at them summits and the rest of the world laughing, these African so-called leaders, they all dumb looking and retarded looking, like Paul Beer, Museveni, like Tinubu. Like what? What kind of what? This is no leader. Leader of what? So, like, it's cartoonish. They look and say they say this is the problem of Africa. It's not the problem of Africa. It's the problem that Africa has been dumbed down, beat down, that they put these no good bastards in the power. So the Kenyans are breaking the cycle. They see they got too much information, and other people in Africa are giving Kenyans respect, but Africa's also true. We can't do it because you're cowards. Kenyans have lost the cowardness. Kenyan military is bigger than Uganda, so don't talk about their military. Oh, they're weak military. Out your fucking mind. Has been given real weapons and now a part of NATO. So that idea you think the Kenyan military is weaker than your military is absolutely stupid. It's just that the kids have lost their fear. Once you lose your fear, they lose their power. People are going to die. Africans are scared to die. The Kenyans already reached that point that they're not scared to die. Once you get there, you get free because the price of freedom is death. Okay? Price of freedom is death. Once you get past your fear, you're the minority, you're the majority. All else is babble because the price of freedom is death. And the Kenyans have already crossed that Rubicon saying, fuck it. If we die, then we die. Most African nations haven't reached that. So until you reach that, where you fed up, because they always say, how can Africans live in this kind of shithole and don't things change? Kenya just happens to be the first country to say enough is enough. That youth finally said, fuck it. If we're going to die, then we die. And so they understand they're not replacing anybody with any other puppets. They said we're going to overhaul the whole system. That's why they told the IMF to get out and the World Bank to get out. And they identify these things. That's why Ruto said, oh, it's the Kennedy Foundation. Kennedy Foundation? Like what? I mean, not the Kennedy. The Ford Foundation is sponsoring these kids. Talking about the Rockefellers and the Fords? You out of your mind. He just trying to say, that's how you know he's corrupt. The very people that put his ass in power, I say they now the ones funding his demise. That's a lie. Yeah, exactly right, Jibba Jabba. And other Africans are also upset because they're still cowards. That's why Nigerians, the Nigerians used to call the Kenyan men cowards. The Kenyan men say, you're the cowards. You're not gonna fight no Nigeria. Trying to make excuses. Oh, our military has guns. You think the Kenyans don't have guns being shot? What are you talking about? Sounds stupid. Kenyans have just lost their fear. It comes to a point for every civilization. This is the nature of revolution. It comes to a point when you cross a certain line and you say, fuck it. What kind of life am I leading? Huh? Is life worth living? See, an oppressive regime always goes too far. Always. But it depends on how much the people can take or what they put up with. Because the power is always with the people because you are the majority. There's no army, no police force that can go against me. How many people in Uganda? Like 60 million, almost 57 million. Your military is only 100,000 people. Police less than that. You think our military can go get 60 million people? It can't. Once the people decide to uprise like Kenya, it's on. The conclusion is that you're going to take over the system. So you got a system glitch in Kenya. The white man is scared to death. He said, I can't allow this to happen all throughout Africa. I'll lose it. I'm not going to lose my goddamn rice bowl. These niggas are supposed to stay in poverty. They're supposed to stay stupid, tribal, and religious. They're not supposed to try to get power and get their shit back. That's unacceptable. As Ibram Torre told you, they believe your lands are theirs. And that's a fact. The white man believes Africa belongs to him. And he's done it for 500 years. That's why they're wealthy. That's why you're poor. You don't believe Africa belongs to you because you sit in your poor ass in Africa? He's telling you, fuck you. So what? You live in Africa. Motherfucker, Africa belongs to me, the white man, not you. That's why I'm rich and you're poor. That's why you got a crooked ass Museveni, a crooked ass Kagame in there talking about, I'm rich. I'm like, oh, they vote. Anybody vote for that same man over 40 years. You got Kagame being crazy. I won the election 99.9%. Yeah, okay. Straight craziness. Nothing but a two-bit dictator. And a psychopath. People that Kagame has murdered outright. No, his government has murdered him in his name. But the white press ain't going against him. Why? Because he's their puppet in the Congo. He's stealing and killing for them. That's why. So they got to contain this in Kenya. But Kenya's never going to be the same again. They're not going to be under reason. But what about the system? No, system is done. They won't be able to bring another puppet in. Them days are gone because the youth have too much.
So I don't know when, of course, Africa will get actually leaders that are emotional. Keith has been talking about Kagame being a psychopath, Museveni and friends. I don't know.
Go ahead, Seto. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
I was saying that I don't know when Africa will ever have, of course, emotional leaders that have a touch of African DNA. Let me say that can have that heart. They can feel that heart for Africa and for the people that they lead. Because very many leaders, they come in a kind of way. There is a way they make our people, they fool out people about a lot of things when they are coming to power, when they are making their campaigns to be voted for. I guess in point, that Ruto guy, people had a lot of expectations from him. When you look at Museveni, by the time Museveni came to power in 1986, was saying a lot. The same thing with Kagame. He brags around the ended genocide.
He's responsible for it.
Mhm.
They know that now. They didn't know that then. A lot of Africans, like I said, are stupid and ignorant since that. They lack information. So, you know, Kagame was installed because he could have never got elected as any president of Rwanda. That's why I told you they shot down the president of Rwanda and Burundi back in '94. The CIA did. Like that's why I showed you those pictures of him being trained by the CIA. They're still online. They haven't taken them down yet. You can still go to images of Kagame being trained by the CIA in Kansas. You can look that up. They're still there. They know most Africans don't know that Kagame was installed by the CIA to do their bidding, to do their interest in the Congo. You know, you have Kagame worth $500 million. How? How's this man worth $500 million, Seto? Who's never invented anything, never built any company, never manufactured anything, never had any mass agriculture. You got people starving today still in Rwanda. And he closed out the border so the Rwandese can't even get into Uganda to eat. And you guys know they got family members on the other side of that border since Kagame got there that they're not even allowed to see. How many Rwandese Seto do you got in Kampala? You guys got a lot of Rwandese in Kampala?
Sorry?
I said, how many Rwandese do you guys have in Kampala? You guys have a lot of Rwandese in Kampala now?
I can't hear you well.
I said, do you have a lot of
Like how
Rwandese?
many what?
Do you
The
have a lot of
Rwandese.
Rwandese in Uganda now?
There are very many, very many.
Why don't they ever go back to Rwanda?
There are very many of them, very many of them.
Why don't they ever go back since Kagame's such a good leader? Why don't they ever go back to Rwanda? That's the question I'm asking, Seto. Why don't they ever go back to Rwanda?
That guy is crazy. It's just a psychopath.
That's right. They know that. That's why they don't go back to Rwanda. They say, oh, Rwanda's great. It's the cleanest city in Africa, Seto. Then why don't these Rwandans want to go back? They don't want to go back there. But 70 may be bad, but he's not bad as Kagame. They don't want to go back there. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good here in Uganda. I'm good here in Uganda. I'm not going back to no damn Rwanda. Well, anyway, Seth, let me let you finish your show up. You lost Maria. Where's Maria? Where's Maria at? Is she in the village?
What?
Oh, you there? Are you in the village? Where you at?
I went for a special mission.
You're in a special mission. You bet not get locked up on your special mission. You guys got it. I'm going. I gotta go use the bathroom. You guys get up and take a damn shower. You guys got it.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and for being here. It's the Blackwood Fire.
Sheila Vika, come support.
continue it out. It's crazy how people are doing it. There's someone here Nikoza mnatoka hapo saa hii. Mama yetu tukana nyinyi kwa maana chako alituambia kuitisha kula zetu baada ya miaka 5 tabi wengine wametufanyia yani prezo wetu kupenda
Jeva zimekama maji leo. Twende kwa ni huyu, ni huyu. Wewe umejaribu. Waniue leo. Leo waniue wana. Waniue. Haiko sawa. Pampas. Siwezi oa, sina pesa ya Pampas. Siwezi oa. Maisha ni ngumu. Maisha gani? Unatutax, unachukua pesa, unaanza kupatia MP wako. Suli,
bibi kwanza, wa pili, wa tatu. Siwezi kubali wa nne.
Haki ya Mungu. Suli versus 8 million. One of our belt 100,000. My friend, where is our money? Taxpayers. Ruto must go.
Kwa nini mnakuta
lakini tani yake bado. Unajua tu kama hivyo jamaa nao. Mas baiklah round up wapi? Halo. Wanataka nini feed? Haya sawa.
hata kama nikikuwa hataki kazi ama ni hiyo uko shua naona wewe sasa hapo pia ndio unafeli kazi yako uko shua naona ndio anauliza how are you najua akichelewa manzia tutafanya ile katani mouse ni kunoma action huku try this other one. Try the Kenyatta Avenue. Yeah, that's one. Like you are going to Westland, then you use the forest. Yeah.
So that's what is going on in Kenya. Today, you see how people, of course, are trying to ask, are trying to, of course, to find how, of course, they can get change in Kenya. Yeah, Kenya is, of course, for those that don't know, if at all it's your first time to hear about Kenya. Kenya is, of course, an East African country, and it borders Uganda in the east, I guess. It borders, is it? Yeah, it borders Uganda in the east. In the west, there is the Indian Ocean. In the south, there is Tanzania, Rwanda there, and the southern east, and so there is Somalia up. So those are the countries that border, of course, Kenya. That is, of course, what Kenya, of course, is going through today. And let's pray for our brothers and sisters that are from Kenya, because a lot is going on in Kenya. You have been a good, for those that have been commenting in ever since the beginning of this show. Thank you so much, starting with GB Jabba. Thank you for being here for those hours you are here with me and Maria. Gino Mosquito was also here. Joby, thank you so much. I wanted to. That is what it's going through, and actually all African countries, they are going through a lot, like a lot and a lot. All we need is to wake up and, of course, fight for what we need. We need to fight for the real cause. We need to understand what we need as Africans. The other person that commented in here was Robert William. Thank you, Robert Williams. It has been a long time without no see. Thank you for being here for that time. And of course, Keith was here. Thank you so much. We shall not exceed here. Thank you for watching. And of course, for those that are within East Africa, a blessed night. For those that are outside Africa, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We meet tomorrow, the exact time we started. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Now, this had killed the market for, of course.